Hello, and welcome to Policymakers, a podcast wherein I, Senator Waldron, and my good friend Sean Sheridan will put forward policies one at a time in the hope of alleviating some of today's biggest political problems. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. My name is Senator Waldron. I'm joined, as ever, by my good friend Sean Sheridan.
Hello.
And you are tuned to Policymakers. We've had a bit of a break this last little while. Yeah, because we've been very busy.
Yeah,
very busy indeed.
Well, you had a very busy time of it. You know, you were traveling around the country.
Yep.
You know, hanging out with celebrities.
Yep.
Being, generally living quite the life of an international role. Shall we say?
The life of Riley. Yeah, I was with Tyrion Lannister and Paul Rudd when they came over for their stag do in Donegal. I was hanging out with them. Played golf with Obama up in Scotland. He was a couple of days off, so we went up there with him and Don Spransfeld at 4-ball. Very interesting times. I mean, the Grand Prix circuit's been just mayhem, so it has.
Yeah.
And of course, setting up for Glastonbury and talking to Kanye West, helping out Jeb Bush with the campaign and everything. I mean, it's been, it's been an interesting couple of months. Yeah.
And I found like a massive bag of magic mushrooms in the Tesco car park. So I've don't know where the fuck I've been.
Busy month for all of us.
Oh, dude, I don't remember much of it, but I know I had a good time.
Yeah. It's been a good year.
It's been a good year. Yeah. 2015. What a year.
What a year indeed.
But first, we have a new thing in our show. Mm-hmm. We call it the incredibly original title of The News in Brief.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's clever.
We only have the one story this week.
We only have one story so far, but it's a new feature.
Yeah.
We're just going to try
freeballing
it.
And frankly, I think this is a doozy.
Well, I think this story is enough to invent a new feature for the show. I mean, this is it's an amazing story, Sean.
If you're familiar at all with American news, you know that any story that has the phrase "a Michigan man" or "a Florida man" is going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
I mean, that is journalistic shorthand for this will be great.
Yeah,
this will fill up 4 minutes. This is going to be great.
And here we go. Compliments of thesmokinggun.com, friends of the show. The headline is, after Walmart proposal, man stole sex toys.
Yeah.
Now, it's, minutes after proposing to his girlfriend over the loudspeaker at Walmart, classy guy.
I like it.
A Michigan man allegedly shoplifted a vibrator, an edible thong, and other sex toys from a nearby Spencer's gift store, according to police. This guy is just getting classier and classier by the second.
He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And he knows how to get it. He's...
surely that's a bit of a party foul etiquette-wise. Like, surely you do your shoplifting, then you propose to your missus.
I mean, there's a lot of faults in the story.
There are faults in the story.
You know what I mean? He's not... when someone's working at that level of class, it's very hard to understand the thought process. But
it's like, yes, of course, darling, I will make sweet romantic love to you the day I've proposed. I asked you to be my life partner, but first I'm about to commit some petty crimes.
I've just got to pop into Spencer Gifts.
Yeah,
can I borrow the pram?
In advance of popping the question last Wednesday night, William Cornelius, 25, purchased a $29.62 engagement ring.
He went for the upscale stuff. Yeah.
At the Walmart in Bay City. Then, after securing the permission of a store employee, Cornelius proposed to his girlfriend Cherie Moore, 20, over the store's public address system.
Now, there's a photograph there as well of the two people involved in the story. I mean, but it's exactly what you imagine. It really is. It's really down to the T.
This is a man who he's got that sort of crazy-eyed look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He looks like he spends a lot of time at a bus station.
Yeah. He looks like one of those guys.
We'll put a photo up on our Facebook page. You can check it out there. But man, it's something.
As seen on store surveillance footage, Moore said yes, prompting applause from fellow shoppers. Cornelius, who had dropped to one knee, and Moore, police police report, can be seen hugging and kissing following the proposal, but the couple's engagement quickly became rocky. According to investigators, Cornelius and Moore, seen above, went from Walmart to a Spencer store at the Bay City Mall. There, Cornelius allegedly swiped items with a combined value of $80.93.
So that's 2.5 times more than he was willing to spend on the engagement ring for the woman he's going to spend for the rest of his life. I mean, that's.
But if you're buying edible underwear, you
want the high end stuff. Yeah.
You want the stuff. You want the Wrigley's. You don't want the Hubba Bubba.
No, exactly. I mean? Yeah. Everyone knows that Spencer's Gift is where you go for high quality stuff, especially when it comes to the sexy play.
Included in the haul was a bride-to-be thong, a $14.99 vibrator, BJ Blast oral sex candy, and a $5.99.
Whoa. Don't gloss over BJ Blast candy, all right? That's
the horrible thing is there's a hyperlink here, which I think I really want to fucking check out. I think we kind of have to.
BJ Blast,
oral sex candy,
isn't that
honestly, I thought Jolly Rancher tasted disgusting. Jesus Christ. Right.
There must be a market for it.
This is an actual product. BJ Blast 3-pack oral sex candy.
Wow, it's only $6. So
view product description. I don't think I've ever wanted to view a product description more. It's okay, the description. It's finally here. The world's only fizzing, popping, bursting, exploding oral sex candy.
Finally, right?
Yeah.
Finally, I'm glad they stopped working on goddamn cure for cancer.
No, right?
Started working on the real important stuff,
Just sprinkle some in your mouth and go down for the ride of their life. Eating out will never be the same. Each packet contains enough to share the fun. Contains 1 pack of the following flavors: cherry, green apple, and strawberry.
Strawberry, I like that. That's, green apple, that seems like a very sharp taste for it.
Well, in fairness, I can't really say much, because usually when I do it, the flavors are get up out of there, you don't know what you're doing.
Well, the wonderful thing about that link there is that you could just send that straight to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they're going to go, well, this is going to be the 10th anniversary to live for the rest of my life. BJ Blast,
Look, I
talk about romance.
I know, right? Deputies responding to a theft call subsequently collared Cornelius and Moore inside the mall. As first reported by the Bay City Times, Cornelius was asleep at a food court table, having apparently nodded off while attempting to tie his shoes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been that drunk. Have you? Okay, the question is...
To be fair, he's had a hell of a day.
Yeah. He probably hasn't exerted himself physically, but that's a roller coaster of emotions.
You're getting proposed to, you see the BJ Blast, the robbing stuff, the shoes are untied.
Your adrenaline is fucking shooting through your veins at
You've
this
obviously
point,
had
man.
a rather large breakfast burrito.
Of course.
Yeah.
While attempting to tie his shoes. That's amazing.
I love the way it's an attempting to tie his shoes. Yeah. So obviously he didn't finish the job. Obviously you're going to get around to
it's just pull them together, loop.
Yeah. The rabbit goes in the house, and then around the tree, and then up through the...
Moore was found... Moore, the girlfriend now, was found in possession of earrings and a necklace that had been taken from Walmart. While she denied shoplifting, Walmart surveillance video captured Moore placing merchandise in her purse.
He's a real catch. He is a real
that's the girlfriend.
What a couple.
Couple. Moore subsequently told cops that Cornelius had stolen the jewelry. All right, now, in her, I'm in two minds about this. In her defense, she didn't know he was going to propose, I assume.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
If you know your man's going to propose, ladies, I assume you don't shoplift about 5 minutes beforehand.
But, you think she would have known, though.
Yeah.
It's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
He picks you up in the car. You drive to Walmart.
Yeah.
He goes to Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah. But...
that's the classic setup. You might as well be in Paris in a hot air balloon.
But, hours, like not even a day after this man got down on one knee publicly. Now, granted, not in the most romantic place in the world, but publicly, pledged his life to you. You fucking tell the cops he was the one who stole all that shit and not you.
I mean...
Maybe, hang on, maybe that was the engagement present.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, maybe that was kind of like...
I'll take the rap for this one, baby.
Yeah, that was it. Like, maybe she was like... Maybe it was... We don't know what type of earrings they were.
Yeah.
So maybe they were for Cornelius there.
Yeah.
And maybe it was like, and who stole these? And she was like, so what? And she was trying to hide it because he was obviously in the same room.
Of course.
And he was like, oh yeah, no, I stole them. And then she went, oh, actually they're earrings. And he went, oh, baby. It's just the earrings I want.
I know, right? Let's see.
They're definitely one of those, those earrings that have, hanging little bits of feathers on them.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Cornelius could face additional charges since he is currently serving a 3-year probation term in connection with the 2014 felony conviction for ethnic intimidation?
Ethnic intimidation?
I have no idea what the hell that is.
That sounds like a crime they had to
invent
just to stop Cornelius. Like, jeez, Cornelius, will you just get out of this bar already?
The Cornelius bill got passed just to convict this man of this crime.
Yeah.
Cornelius and a male relative were convicted of attacking 3 black men who walked past their Bay City residence. Wow, this guy is...
he's a class act.
He's the classiest man
alive.
alive.
Man I know, yeah.
More court records show was arrested last September for stealing a cell phone from a Bay City man. She was released on a $2,500 bond in the misdemeanor larceny case, which remains open.
Oh my god. I mean,
this is like the world's shittest Bonnie and Clyde.
I know. I just like. Is there a way we could policymakers be the official podcast of that wedding? Because I mean, that's going to be a hell of a bash. You know what I mean?
Fiverr says the fucking wedding reception is at the party table at KFC.
No, I think it's going to be around the back of the same Walmart.
Yeah, the security guard just breaking into the wedding photos like, you're fucking nicked.
Yeah. I think there's going to be... I mean, how long does it take? How long does an engagement last? Like 6 months, say?
6 months to 2 years.
6 months. Well, I'd imagine that the Bay City area Walmart is going to be very suspicious in the next 6 months if 32 cases of champagne are lifted.
Now, in fairness, neither of these people look like the champagne drinking type
They
of
are
person.
definitely not the champagne. Like, I don't like to judge people by looks, but that looks like the kind of man who would get caught stealing dildos from Spencer's Kids. I mean,
yeah, we're talking instead of 32 cases of champagne, we're talking like a half dozen cases of Coors Light and a half dozen cases of White Lightning. Yeah, that's what we're talking here.
Can you steal crystal meth from Walmart? Because if you can, that island's going to be dry.
I think so. Well, if you can,
if you can, I mean, they could bring in Spencer's Law just for that. Like,
America, legalize it for that reason, if no other. Legalize crystal meth for like a fortnight, just to make that shit happen.
I mean, that's the wedding of the century, right there.
So that's our news in brief.
That's our news in brief. We'll give them Cornelius
and Shamar. I fucking salute you.
We salute you.
You get the policymaker salute.
Good luck in the future, you crazy teenagers.
Who are 25 and 20 respectively.
Oh my god, I can't believe, like, how do you go home to Matt? How do you tell that to your lawyer? Because he's obviously got a lawyer because he was arrested 3 weeks earlier.
I imagine his lawyer is like Jack Lemmon and Glengarry Glen Ross. It's like, give old Gil a fucking chance here. Come on.
Yeah. Could you just stop robbing for a minute? All right, what you get? Yeah. That's our news in brief. I think that was a triumphant start to the news in brief.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
So
this episode.
Yeah.
Because it's the end of the year and indeed the start of a new year, we thought we'd go back and look over the year that was.
Absolutely.
2015. So why don't we take a little commercial break and then we'll come back. Year in review.
Oh man, I'm so bored.
What's wrong, John?
I'm bored.
You totally bored?
Yeah, I just said I was.
Well, I've got just a treat for that.
Oh, what's that?
Policymakers. It's a brand new podcast.
Yeah?
It's only 20 or 21 episodes in by this stage.
Oh, that's brand new.
Brand new, yeah.
And what's it about?
Well, it's about these two really handsome, smart guys called Senan and Sean.
Yeah.
And what they do is they solve social ills of the day.
Wow, they're doing a public service.
They're doing a public service, and it's all for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where can I find this podcast?
Well, you could download it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That's SoundCloud/policymakers. Or you could find it on YouTube. And the best way to find it on YouTube would be to put it up on Facebook. So come and find us and like us on Facebook. That's Facebook Policymakers.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
It would change your life.
I was just going to masturbate into a bucket, but that's a way better idea.
It's a way better idea, and you could do one after the other.
Or why not both at the same time?
Why not, Sean?
I'm doing it in the comfort and safety of my own home. No one can judge me except God.
And you can download it right now. SoundCloud.com/policymakers.
You've sold me.
I've sold you. Welcome back.
Yeah. So, 2015.
2015.
Yeah, there were a lot of shit happened in 2015.
A lot of shit happened in 2015. I mean, there was almost an entire full year of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
And also a lot of horrible terroristy stuff, but we're going to stay away from that.
Yeah,
we don't need to worry about that. That's fine.
Yeah, everyone else is doing that.
We all know what's going on.
Everyone else is getting all the cheap laughs you can.
Like horrible terrorist attacks.
Actually, I do have some thoughts on that, but we can share them some other time.
We'll keep that for the after hours podcast.
It's Islamic terrorism, so we can have it for the 2016 year in review, the 2017 year in review. Gay marriage. That was a big thing.
That was a big story. Yeah.
Back in May, wasn't it?
May. At the start of the summer.
Yeah, at the start of the summer. It was like, that was a lovely little present from the universe.
Yeah.
You know, the summer started, the weather started getting nice, you realised that the country you lived in wasn't half as fucking bigoted as you thought it was.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it?
I remember going out with my flatmate Johnny Capcom, going out for a few pints the night it happened, and there was just like a lovely feeling in the air. You know, it was
very positive feeling in the air. Yeah,
and everyone was like hugging each other. It's like, hey, it's a fucking good time to be alive. You know, we're not a pack of bastards anymore. Yeah. And granted, it all went back to fucking fear and desperation after that. But it was a nice little holiday. And I don't know if I told you about this. Back in like February, I think it was. I was doing a gig up in Dublin, and
that's Dublin City.
Dublin City,
for anyone listening at home.
That's not the real Ireland.
Yeah,
we can't stress that enough. Dublin City is not the real Ireland.
No, it's just,
but anyways, we were. And I was waiting to get the midnight bus back to Galway. You know, where people are nice to each other.
Yeah.
But
a good city.
Yeah, and first, what am I talking about? Sorry, it was the next day. I was very drunk. I was extremely drunk.
I think we were all very drunk on pretty much the gayest drinks we could find. You know, Flirtini.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't
Cosmos. And
I was in Dublin. You need to be drunk for Dublin.
Coolers Light, that kind of thing.
Anyways, it was the next day. Yeah. It was around like midday, and I was waiting for the bus. And this guy comes over handing out flyers, like vote no on this thing. It's like, we won't let the gays marry,
Yeah.
And I asked him, and it's like, okay, I've got about 10 or 15 minutes before this happens, before the bus comes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, mate, why should I vote no? And he went off on a bit of one, but the general gist of it was, well, if we allow them to get married, it'll become normal, and then everyone will be doing it. Now, Senan, I need to ask you a question, right? Okay, I need to ask you a question. It's a yes or no question, right? Have you ever thought or heard another man express the following sentence? You know what I'm really indifferent about? Other men's penises.
I mean, it's not No, not really. No,
No,
it's not
exactly.
A conversation that pops up like.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's kind of hardwired into you. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
You either have an extreme like or an extreme dislike of other men's penises.
Well, if you were at, say, a bus station,
Yeah.
and someone came up to you with their penis in hand,
Yes.
you're going to have one reaction or another.
Yeah.
You're going to go, oh, that's quite a nice penis.
Yeah.
Or you're going to go, oh, I don't want to see that penis.
Yeah.
Very rarely you're like, I would like to learn more about this. I would like to, that's interesting.
I would like to get a flyer about this.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
probably someone, I'm not exactly sure how to feel about this, if it's positive or negative, but I would like to investigate more.
Yeah, you've never seen like another man, a man kneeling in front of another man going, oh God. Wow, this is really difficult from this angle. You're working like an entirely different muscle group.
If only this wasn't illegal.
I can kind of see the appeal, but if only there was some legislation in place that made this okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare you meet someone who has neutral feelings on, gay sex, basically. You know what I mean?
Maybe
usually
that was the entire no campaign. Maybe they're just like entirely on the fence, shall we say, about the whole...
They want is just a bit of legal backing to make sure that it's okay for them to stay away from wangers.
The no campaign were fucking brilliant as far as I could tell.
Jeez.
They were like Donald Trump levels of fucking moronic. It was
phenomenally idiotic.
Yeah, they had this whole campaign. It takes a father and a mother to raise a child. Vote no. And our Taoiseach, Joan Burton, she was actually an orphan. I don't know if you're aware of that.
She was adopted when she was a child.
She was adopted when she was a child.
Yeah.
And she came out and said that particular campaign was offensive.
Yeah.
That's Joan... Fuck the water protesters. They can afford iPhones. Burton says something you said was offensive.
She might be the most hated person in Ireland.
Yes,
I would say she's definitely in the top 3. And she was offended. I mean, that's
that if you can do that, you have the capacity to fuck up on a level I didn't think was possible.
Well, see, what I thought was interesting was that. And I'm sure you noticed it, because obviously you would have gone home to vote, right?
No, I was just had to walk down the road, yeah.
Right. But lots of people went home, and I imagine you were talking to your parents or whoever in your family about it.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when you were talking to people who were pro-no, they were very, very careful with the language. They were kind of saying like homosexuals or gays or, kind of sensitive. Yeah. Not like, you could tell they were hiding their insensitivity with like normal people.
Even though the in big fucking neon letters, Rectum Ranger was going off behind their eyes.
But what I found amazing was people on the Yes campaign, people like my father, for example, who'd be in his 50s now, and other people, my uncles,
and openly homosexual,
but people like that, they were using. They didn't mind about the gays. They were all voting yes because they wanted gay marriage to be equal. Why not? Why not? Why not? I'm happy. They want to get married. Let them get married. Yeah, who cares? But at the same time, they were also using what I would describe as incredibly offensive terms if they weren't being so positive.
Oh yeah,
like all over the place. Like my father insisted in calling every gay person he met or anyone who was pro yes, call them bent. That's his big word. I haven't heard somebody say, well, he's a bender, isn't he? I haven't heard somebody say that since I was 10.
Yeah, that's since like about 1996
about
or something.
96, yeah. My uncle, my auntie insisted on calling them all woolly woofters, which was... once again, you're listening to them, and they're not offensive. Yeah. They're just so silly.
And this is... if we have any like overseas listeners, this is the Irish mentality.
Oh, absolutely.
We are an extremely progressive people, but we will use the most regressive language we can just because it's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And you go to sex ed, it's brilliant.
You should meet Irish gay people. They're they have a thicker skin than most rhinos. It's brilliant. But
I like the way that and it's very hard if you're a gay person, right, and you live in say Alabama or somewhere like that, right? You get slated all the time, and it's very offensive words.
Oh, of course,
you're queer, you're faggot, and all the rest of these very horrible, harsh words that cut into the deep. But I feel like a lot of those homophobic people, angry homophobic people, have a lot of their power taken out of them if that's referred to everyone as woolly woofters.
You woolly woofter!
You woolly woofter, you get out of here, you pansy! I mean, that's not the same, is it?
Yeah, we just need to find the nicest offensive phrases we can.
Yeah. Like my mother wonderful bit of poetry.
Yeah.
She never really used the word queer or gay or woolly woofter. What she did was just, you don't have to describe this now.
Okay.
But I'll do a scene.
Okay.
And you describe what I'm doing. Okay.
All right.
I talked to my mother. What do you think about gay marriage? She says, well, I think that those.
Oh, the limp wrist.
The little flap.
Yeah. The limp wrist flap. Yes.
Yeah. A little bit of wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that those people deserve to get married, and why shouldn't they? And to have kids, and if one wants to get with the other one, then that's fine.
Maybe she was just learning. Maybe she was just doing like practicing her doggy paddle.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. It kind of looked like gay sign language. I just kind of like floppy floppy flop.
To be honest, man, I think one of the things I'm kind of upset about is we haven't got enough credit for that. You and I personally,
the policymakers,
because I don't know if you heard this, but our previous iteration of this show, we did an episode about the gay referendum, and I forget if it was, I think it was me, it could have been you, I'm not 100% sure. We came up with a brilliant suggestion for the yes side.
Yeah,
where if you vote yes, you get invited to the afters of every gay wedding in your area.
That was one of your policies.
Yes.
And we said that was a very progressive, interesting way, and certainly a good way to get the yes vote.
And some of the yes campaigners, they listened to it. They added it to the last minute addition to their manifesto.
Yeah.
And the whole, every Irish person likes a good wedding reception.
Every good Irish person likes a good wedding reception.
And they threw in some poppers and some glow sticks.
Exactly. I mean, every Irish person was like, what's going on? We're going to watch two ladies kiss and get hammered in a field. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
That's
going to be awesome. And I'll get on that all day.
You talk to a Midlands farmer, offer him that.
Yeah.
It's going to fucking, he's, yes vote. The only people who voted no was Roscommon, because, I'm not sure what to make of them, to be honest with you.
Well, I think that's something more to do with the population makeup of Roscommon. It's very, very, very empty.
I think
not a lot of people. There's only about 40. They said that it was 51 or 52% in favour and yes against it.
Well, I think
there's only like 60, 70 people in Roscommon.
I think it was sort of a protest vote that intra-family marriage wasn't on the ballot
that's
first.
That's what it was. Yeah,
it could have been that. It could have been that. How's it going, Dave Igo, by the way? How you doing?
How you doing down there? Yeah. How's the cousin?
How's the cousin / fiance? But
/ Willy Woofter.
Yeah. So I think we've covered the gay marriage.
I think we got that pretty well.
What else happened?
Well, there's been a very popular year for very popular music.
Absolutely.
And I think we have to kind of pick our musical star of the year.
Okay.
Right? Most important musical star of the year.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
What would you say biggest star of the year in terms of music? And it has to go to Taylor Swift.
Are you just saying this because you predicted it would be Taylor Swift's year last January?
Everybody knew that Tay-Tay was on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was the year Tay-Tay. I mean, she was amazing.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly.
She was everywhere.
It wasn't a Nostradamus-style prediction for you.
She did well this year. I mean, she really, really, really kicked it up a notch.
I only know like two songs of hers, like "We're Never Getting Back Together" and "Shake It Off." Those are the only two songs of hers I know.
They're the two biggest songs of the year.
Yeah, and I know I'm going to lose a man card when I say this, but "Shake It Off" is a fun tune.
It's a classic track. What a great bit of pop.
It's a fun pop tune.
It's a fun pop tune.
I can't be mad at her. I usually
get mad at her.
I usually hate that kind of music, but Tay-Tay.
You hit it. You're right.
You hit it. Fair play.
I know World Tour 1989 was the biggest tour of the year.
Oh, so she was celebrating. She was celebrating Leicester beating Charlton 3-0.
Well, I believe it was it was more the celebration of Leicester winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Putting Charlton Athletic out, and I think it was the second round.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah. A huge year for football.
Yeah, that was...
It was shown that Taylor Swift has international appeal. I mean...
She plays well in the Midlands.
Yeah, that's right. She's huge in the Midlands, yeah. I mean, you go down Carlisle, you cannot move for her. They love her. They just love her. Posters everywhere. Yeah, her world tour 1989 was the biggest tour since the band 1981's, 1984's, 1988 tour, with over 4 trillion views online.
1.4 trillion.
1.4 trillion, which averages out at about 700 to 800 million hits per person on Earth.
I was thinking, that's like an order of magnitude more than people there are in the world.
People love her. People all over the world. She has more fans than Fancorp PLC in Fandang, China. She is huge.
By that rationale, that means that everyone in the world must have watched that multiple times.
Yep.
Like, including Vladimir Putin.
Mm-hmm. Vladimir Putin loves Tay-Tay.
Yeah, you can...
He is mental for her. He's ripping that she didn't go to Russia. The anger on him. He invaded Ukraine over that, you know? He means business. I mean, he loves Tay-Tay.
I just want her to know I love her.
Shake it off.
Just like he did with Boris Nemtsov.
Just like he did with Boris Nemtsov. Do you know Vladimir Putin has a perfect English accent?
Really?
He just refuses to speak it. He sounds, I believe it's kind of towards Hull, northernish.
Really?
Hull, Leeds area.
I was not aware of that.
You didn't know that? No, he never uses it, purely out of ignorance.
Yeah, so like behind closed doors, you know.
Yes, Vladimir, make sure the nuclear codes are safe. And he closes the door. Oh, mad for a cup of tea, me. He's really a love vodka. You know what I mean? But never uses it, pure ignorant.
Mum, put some gravy on it. Because northern boys love gravy.
See, I know this because he let it slip one time when him and Barack Obama were having a meeting at the G8. No, it wasn't. Who's the Francis Hollande?
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and him were having a conversation, and they were just talking lightly, and they happened to be drinking a glass of milk. And unbeknownst to Vladimir Putin, there was actually a microphone set up next to the milk. And he was heard saying, "Just drink that, make it big and strong, could play for Accrington Stanley." To which Francis Hollande said, "Quit?" And he said, "Exactly, my son, exactly." And then he went back to, "Yes, we must bomb Russia," or whatever. But, anyway, not to detract from the point, Taylor Swift had a huge year. I mean, she had more hits than Conor McGregor.
Yeah, which is like 2.
Yeah, more than 2. It was amazing, yeah. In 2015 she was big. 2014 she was massive, and in 2015 she broke the mold into mega. I'm predicting that in 2016 she might become godlike.
Really, you don't think we'll hit peak Swift?
I don't think we've reached peak Swift yet. No, I think that peak Swift will come when we somehow communicate via like pop style country songs into the next galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Shania Twain's at home ripping.
Absolutely
I did that shit 20 years ago.
Damn that tall blonde.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Shake it off," because it's such a charming song.
I know, right?
It's such a beautiful, charming message for a beautiful, charming girl.
Exactly.
It was an absolute big year. So the question remains, is she the most powerful woman in the world? Absolutely not. Is she the most powerful woman in music? Probably not, especially not if Madonna's listening. But is she killing that key demographic of gays and preteens? She is, bet your bottom dollar she is. She is all over that.
So which one are you?
Well, I'm not a preteen. I think I fall into the heads of diplomatic states category.
You would be the world's oldest preteen.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
That's true. You know, it was the year when popular culture stepped back about 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
You know, we had a new Star Wars movie. We had a new Jurassic Park.
Movie. Yep, of course.
You know, there was a new Superman movie.
Yep, yeah.
Well, there's going to be a new Superman movie. I get
it was announced.
My timelines get all fluffy with that.
It was all very much. It was like stepping back to being 14 and wishing all these movies had come out.
Yeah.
But then realizing that those movies had already come out.
Yeah.
And were usually much better than the original. Yeah.
And Jurassic World was set new standards for the depiction of women in huge big budget action movies.
Yeah.
By showing a strong, competent woman getting saved by a Harrison Ford knockoff.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the first. Well, I tell a lie. It was the second movie after Sharknado where I was not on the side of the humans.
Really? You were full of dinos?
Absolutely. No, think about it, right? Given a choice between like super big, super fast, super stealthy dinosaurs, genetically modified super dinosaurs, and people who thought it was a good idea to make super fast, super strong, super stealthy, genetically modified dinosaurs, who are you on the side of?
I mean, the dinosaurs, I always figured they're just doing as they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just hanging out.
Yeah.
Being dead for 2 million years.
Exactly.
We came and brought them back, and they were angry when they came back.
I know, right?
Ridiculous.
I know. But that was it, exactly. You know, that and, you know, Sharknado, you got to be on the side of the Sharknado there.
Well, I mean, that's part of the fun of the movie.
Because that's like some Leviticus shit right there.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you watch like Leon and you're actually for Gary Oldman. You're like, you watch, The Dark Knight and you're full of the Jokers. Part of the fun of the show is to sometimes you like the villain and sometimes the flying sharks are the heroes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Well, classic anti-hero.
Yeah, it was a choice between flying sharks or the guy from 90210. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, fair play.
Yeah.
So was Sharknado your movie of the year?
No, my movie of the year was Mad fucking Max.
Mad Max, yeah. I hear that was very good. I haven't got around to see
Mad Max. Oh, I just thinking about it now nearly makes me come. Because
I could tell.
That's just a movie. Every action movie these days, it tries to have plot and characters and stories that mean something.
Origins.
And it's like, you don't want that.
No.
You don't want that at all. No. What you want is big, fucked up, crazy shit that you couldn't possibly imagine yourself. That's what you want.
That's what you want out of a movie,
You want fucking big... You want, like, fucking Tusken Raiders on poles on the back of fucking monster trucks.
Yeah.
Jumping onto Tom Hardy to try to stab him.
Yeah, explosions. Is there a lot of car flips?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, you want a fucking blindfolded dude, suspended by ropes playing a flamethrower electric guitar.
That's the
for
kind of
no
thing.
good fucking reason.
I mean, how much does that cost? I mean, what is
That's
it?
what you want.
9-10 into a movie. You want something like that. You want a spectacle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You need that in your life, man. That was the best movie. Probably of all fucking time. I'm not gonna lie.
Good movie.
And you didn't see it on the big screen, so I think I deserve to punch you just on general principle.
I get that a lot. Pretty much everyone I meet who I say that to, I'm getting an awful beating lately, And thank God Star Wars came out and distracted everyone. It was a tough year.
That's another one, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, who can, the fastest selling movie of all time.
Yeah.
It broke Avatar's record in 17 days.
Good. I didn't like Avatar.
Me either. No. It was a pile of wank.
Dancing with wolves of Smurfs.
Yeah, I will say this though: if Michelle Rodriguez was a chick, I would do.
I'd get on that. Yeah.
But anyways,
gay marriage or not?
Gay marriage or not?
Yeah.
But it's legal now. We can cut that bit out.
We'll edit that later.
And Star Wars, directed by J.J. Abrams, my favorite director in the world.
Yeah, biggest nerd officially. Biggest nerd in the world now.
No, he's not the biggest nerd in the world, and that's why he's the best director in the world, because he makes a good living making good action movies that piss off nerds. And both of those things I can get behind in spades.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I told you about this. I went online a couple of days ago to look up the nerd reaction to The Force Awakens, and I found the greatest review of anything ever.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget the name of the forum. It was like some fucking sci-fi forum or whatever. And this guy's quick capsule review of The Force Awakens was feminism fucked it. Right? Which was not something I was expecting.
No,
I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's usually exactly the opposite.
Yeah,
happens with feminism.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But, here, and I actually created an account on this forum.
Wow, that's commitment to...
Just so I could fucking see what the story was.
Yeah, that's okay. Real commitment to it.
Yeah, I was like, all right, mate, I'll bite. What have you got for me? And I was like, okay. You know how how long it took Anakin to master the Force? I was like, yeah, about 2.5 movies. Mm-hmm. You know how long it took Luke to master the Force? About 2.5 movies, 2.5 movies, something like that.
You think of when he gets the first lightsaber between his...
Yeah, and he
fighting with it.
Yeah, he. That would be weird if it was a she.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
But, he went on, and that Rey chick, she just mastered the Force in like 5 minutes. It was totally unrealistic.
Unrealistic?
I know, right? that was an exact quote. Totally unrealistic.
But like the flying spaceships. The
8-foot tall carpet, Harrison Ford in a movie. None of these things were outside,
literally a saber of light. That's all fine.
Weaponized light. That's not outside of his experience.
It's kind of like I don't like this. I've got to get out of here. It's unrealistic. Out of the way, droids.
Intergalactic travel, AI with personality.
Yeah.
None of these things were outside.
Planetary weapons.
I want to live in the world he lives in. But none of that seemed out of the ordinary to him.
Yeah.
Because it seems like apart from like the gross misogyny, he lives in a fucking wonderful fucking internal world.
I mean, do you think it's because he lives in a world of laser beams and flying ships that he doesn't really see women? Not that he doesn't see women in a positive light. He just doesn't physically see women. He just sees blurs or droids or something mental like that.
It's quite possible. Yeah. It's quite possible.
Has he been to Walmart lately?
Because if he hasn't, I know a guy who was there a couple of days ago who could teach him shit.
He's going to meet this new couple. I mean, they're so much fun.
He will learn so much about romance.
He'll learn more about romance, about thievery, about basically how to construct movie criticism.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So what else happened in 2015 there, Senan?
Well, there was, of course, a big year for sports.
Go on.
Now, not as big as 2012.
Of course.
London 2012, never forget.
Yeah.
But there was a big event in England. There was the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
Which was huge.
Everyone watched it. It was a huge event for England.
Yeah, well, it was a huge event for a while. For England.
For about 3 games. Yeah, it was a huge event for England.
Yeah. Well, I've got a little synopsis on it. Yeah. I actually wrote it for the Policy Times.
Go on.
At the end of much after the final.
All right.
The Rugby World Cup was held by Ireland's estranged brother England this autumn in 2015. Something you won't see a lot of on English TV's end of year reviews, as the World Cup didn't go that great for the English. They were exited the World Cup like they were trying to escape the gravitational pull of the Rugby World Cup and land on some sort of mad oblong moon. They were the first host nation to be kicked out of the World Cup in the first round, quite literally being embarrassed off the field. England fans steadfastly replied by acting like it wasn't a big deal to start with, and they just happened to be going to London on the 25th, or the 25th or 23rd. Is it the same day as the semi-final and the final? Well, that's interesting because I just happened to be staying in a high-priced London hotel. Rugby, what is that? Some sort of new chicken dish from the South Pacific?
Oh, sorry, I was just humming the national anthem. It makes me patriotic.
Yeah, and they just. That's how they responded, basically, by just not realising it at all. Ireland, of course, had a glorious World Cup after destroying the rugby's powerhouse that is Romania, decimating what was thought to be the unstoppable Canadians, brushing aside the formidable Italians, and throwing off the challenge of the French like a wet cheese-smelling towel. The Irish rugby team decided it would bow out The Irish rugby team decided it would bow out of the competition because it just wouldn't be fair to go on and trounce every other team and just take the cup like candy from a baby.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
We decided it was far more appropriate to let the Argentinians win and let them have a go at trying to get to the final, because at the end of the day, isn't that what the World Cup is about?
Yeah.
It would be just unfair just to march in, you know.
And in fairness, it makes sense that we'd let the Argentinians have it because we have so much in common with them.
Yeah.
You know, political and financial instability, and getting shelled to fuck by the Brits.
Yeah,
you know, so we have a lot in common.
Brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms.
So why not let them win? But of course, the biggest upset of the competition was the Japanese beating South Africa in the opening game, 34-32. A proud moment for the Sheridan family. As I understand. Fireworks, flags being raised everywhere. That's when you got that tattoo, right?
Oh yeah, it's just across my chest. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I see it?
Yeah.
It's very graphic. Very graphic.
There we go.
Ooh, it's powerful. I mean, it's
powerful.
Big. It's very big as well.
I put on a bit of weight. All right, leave me alone.
I mean, that Godzilla is really, really, really raping the hell out of that Springboks.
Look.
I mean, it's graphic. It is graphic, but it's beautiful.
It's kind of fucked up to me that in your mind, Godzilla is the national mascot of Japan.
Sure it is. Godzilla or being bombed or something. Something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
Sushi, maybe. I don't know. I guess electronics.
Cultural learnings with Senan Waldron.
I mean, you can't have electronics raping a Springboks, you know. So you have to have Godzilla. It's the standard. You know. Sean, you're the one with the tattoo, all right? It's your mistake. But by far the biggest upset was Japanese beating South Africa in the opening game 34-32, proving once and for all that clever tactics and casual racism is no match for good old-fashioned positive attitude and for importing massive 6'4", 17-story flankers from New Zealand.
Hey, it works.
It works. If you want the World Cup, that's the way to do it.
You can't argue with results. You can't argue with results.
Just get out there, be positive, play the game, import Mauis. New Zealand went on to beat Australia in the final, in a final that no one on this side of the planet really cared about.
No, not really.
Not really.
No one in the Northern Hemisphere gave a fuck at that point.
Not by that stage. We already had our fun.
You know, the Canadians were just being nice.
The Canadians were just once the Irish are out, the whole cup kind of just sizzled out.
Yeah,
really,
pretty much. Yeah,
it was just more for the players.
No, we just thought, like you said, it's Argentina's time. It's Argentina's time.
You know what I mean? I mean, playing the game. We're very sportsmanlike.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that was the World Cup, Sean. That was Senan Waldron's World Cup review.
And we said we wouldn't talk about it, but I feel like I need to say something here. Mm-hmm. It's just something I would like to say to to the human effluent trough known as ISIS.
Oh, God, yeah.
You can't talk about 2015 without talking about the people who destroyed the good name of one of Los Angeles' best post-rock bands. But there was...
That's a deep cut, Sean.
Yeah, that is a really
that's a niche joke you got there.
Cultural learnings and obscure references. That's what we do.
What we do
this
here
is the new policymakers.
Go on.
But anyways, here they attacked, twice in 2015 with the Charlie Hebdo thing.
They are literally the worst.
And then with the just random shootings in Paris, they hit the French twice. And I just want to say to ISIS, are you fucking mental? Right? Because, internationally speaking, at the moment, the French have a bit of a reputation as being, soft and all that sort of thing. What was the line? Cheese-eating surrender monkeys?
Cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Exactly.
Yeah. Famed cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Now, three things you need to know about the French, right? Up until 2008, there was... every French citizen had to go through a year of mandatory military
service.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So every French person over the age of 25 is a trained killer.
Right.
Is that so? Is that a country you want to fuck with?
No. No. You want to attack Luxembourg or something like that.
Point two. The Irish, we make a big deal out of how we fought the English for 800 years. We fought the yoke of oppression. You know what? The French were fighting them for 800 years too. The only difference is, for more than half of that, the French were winning.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was considered a bit of a fucking upset when the English took it in the end.
Yeah.
They won it on penalties, let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be fair. It
Yeah.
was a split decision in the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
You know, is that a country you want to fuck with? Point number three. I don't know if you're, as I'm sure you're aware, in 19th century French poetry, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't
Right?
know that? Yeah.
The polite term used in that style of poetry at the time for orgasm was le petit mort.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't know that? I mean,
Which
I would imagine that most of
Yeah.
our listeners are at least slightly prolific in
Yeah.
mid-19th century poetry.
Yeah, we've all
French
read some
poetry.
Baudelaire. We know.
Everyone's read a bit of Baudelaire. I mean,
Yeah,
you
and,
must have something in the bathroom or something. You know.
And as you know, literally translated, le petit mort means the little death.
Yeah.
Would you fuck with a nation of people who confuse sexual release with strangling midgets? That is not a sane country. That is the weird kid in the playground of the international community. That is not a fucking hornet's nest you should be poking, ISIS. ISIS, fucking sort your life out. Go after the English. Do it right.
Everyone else does. I don't understand the petit mort. I'm never going to be able to think about now about like seeing a choking blue midget.
Oh, like you've never seen a man choke a midget before.
Yeah, well, obviously, but I mean, now I'm going to see an actual midget. It's going to be weird. It's going to go into the circus. It's going to ruin the circus for me. Yeah, no, I think ISIS might actually be the absolute worst, and I don't understand why they picked France of all the nations. As you said, France has great military strength.
And they're insane.
And they're a world power. And they're mental. They'll just do whatever. But, they could have easily just attacked, say, Andorra and own that.
Yeah.
They could just own that now. They could have just gone after, what's that little country between Poland and the rest of them, they could have
Poland
easily,
and the rest of them.
But they could have just gone for a small tiny. They could have easily taken Wales. They could have all of Wales now. Now, granted, the rewards aren't great, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's good rugby there.
True.
They love singing.
And
Singing in Wales.
And Ian Watkins is from there, so
Why go for France? What have the
Absolutely.
French ever brought us? Huh?
Yeah. That being said, I can't really get behind that because I think Tom Jones would look shit with the beard. I can't picture him with one.
It'd be a great way to do the prayers in the morning, though.
Yeah.
Just,
No, I wouldn't fuck with Wales either, man.
no.
You know who's Welsh?
Who?
Fucking Batman.
Oh yeah, Christian Bale is Batman.
Yeah. And he's from Cardiff.
Cardiff is a rough city too.
Yeah. Do you want?
I mean, they could go over there and they could commit some sort of terrible atrocity in Cardiff, and no one would notice.
Actually,
they did it on a Friday night. No one would know.
You just reminded me. You just reminded me of something there. The last time I saw any sort of media related to Cardiff, because I don't know much about Wales.
You don't have a news report on your Google for Wales related
news? Of course not.
Yeah.
I had to disconnect it. It was just too
much.
It was too enthralling.
Wasted so many hours on it. Yeah.
But the last time I saw any sort of media related to Cardiff, it was three lads who they dressed up in drag for charity.
Oh, lovely.
They were out for like a boisterous night out of a Friday night in Cardiff, and a couple of small-minded gentlemen, shall we say, decided to make some unnecessarily offensive comments towards these guys, not realizing that these three guys were championship level cage fighters. You have never seen funny until you've seen a chav get suplexed by a drag queen. You have not. I defy you to find something funnier than that.
Man, you gotta love those Welsh lads.
I know, right?
They just get stuck in.
Like committed. A 6'2", 15-stone guy hitting you with his stiletto. Oh, everything about that story is amazing. ISIS, are you sure you want to fuck with those three guys? Because they will put on those fucking sequin dresses.
They're not getting changed.
They're not getting
They
changed.
spent all night picking out an outfit. They're not getting changed. They might take the earrings out, but they're not getting changed.
Oh, they'll take off the shoes.
Yeah.
But apart from that, you're fucked.
And you see Davy Jonesy. You see the nails in him.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's got a 6 foot reach.
I mean,
nearly 252 pounds.
Yeah.
And nails, beautiful nails. They're gorgeous.
Now this is the most controversial statement I will probably ever make.
Mm-hmm.
There's one country I want to see ISIS come after.
Yeah. And
if nothing else, just for the fallout of this, I want to see ISIS hit Ireland. Small scale. I don't want to see like a fucking 9/11 style event in my homeland.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think you remember the famous Jerry Adams speech where he gave the speech about how they were going to give peace a chance, and then right at the end he just went, "We haven't gone away,
Yeah.
It's like, and they haven't gone away.
A little bit of a threat.
Just think about it. How mental would it be if a reactivated IRA went after ISIS while being funded by MI6?
I mean,
think about that.
I would just.
That
I would love. I could just see the scene of the lads breaking into, the ISIS lads breaking into Debenhams in Belfast.
Yeah.
AK-47s and shooting up the air. Oh, we're here to take this over, and the place just being empty, apart from one lad in a balaclava looking straight at them, just going, "No, I wouldn't do it today, lads.
No,
I wouldn't do it today, lads. Listen, Scotland's empty. Give that a go, but there's not around here, right?"
It would only be a matter of time, and I think we learned from that particular episode of Deadliest Warrior, the IRA would kick the shit out of most Middle Eastern terrorists.
Well, they've just got the right attitude.
Yeah,
like I said, there's nothing like a positive attitude and important giant New Zealand rugby players fighting your team. I mean, that's how they won the North.
Jerry Adams, Martin McGuinness, and just like one massive family of Maoris.
We all know the trio of Sinn Féin that won the North: Jerry Adams, Martin McGuinness, and Marty Bono. O'Reilly.
Changed his name.
Changed his name afterwards.
Yeah.
To O'Reilly.
It used to be Awanti Bono, Welsh.
Yeah, but the way things are. Got married.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, what else happened in 2015?
Well, it's gonna be almost in us being a positively. We're gonna pick our politician of the year.
Yeah.
Being a political podcast and all the rest of it, we have to very much pick our politician of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be only one man.
Go on.
The wavy haired, hamster having head.
I've got a different
man of ages.
Ahead. Yeah.
Man who's more orange than man.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Oh yes.
Who I'm hoping by the end of 2016 we will have to call Sir Donald Trump, which would just really brighten up my year. But
well, so long as we don't have to call him Mr. President, I think we're fine.
I think we're pretty
that.
happy. We'll all be happy with
that. You showed me this a couple of days ago, the Rolling Stone article.
Mm.
Him talking about the nuclear triad. You remember?
Oh my God! Yeah. He's a man of great many, a few words.
I'll pull it up.
Put it up there. You should find the interview. I mean,
this is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
I mean, Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
Now, you could say he's a child, but that'd be very insulting to children.
During the last debate, Donald Trump was asked what most political theorists would consider a softball question.
Now,
a soft question, right? And here we go. Let me see. For Mr. Trump, Dr. Carson just referenced the single most important job of the president: the command, the control, and the care of our nuclear forces. And he mentioned the triad. The B-52s are older than I am. The missiles are old. The submarines are aging out. It's an executive order. It's a commander-in-chief's decision. What's your priority among our nuclear triad?
Now, that's a simple question.
That's a very simple question.
Okay, now it's a great question because it means you can get through what you want to do.
Yeah.
show how your party feels about it. You can really, get a lot out of the question. Or you can just answer in a couple of lines.
Yeah.
A couple of simple lines like, I think we should keep the Trident program, or I think we should get rid of it, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
there are a lot, there are a lot of simple, common sense answers you could give to that. Donald Trump took a different approach, though.
Yeah, see, my idea of it would be that you don't have... There's no right answer for that. Because all the questions are it's a kind of open-ended questions.
Exactly.
There's no direct answer.
Exactly.
But Donald Trump really worked hard to try and find the wrong answer.
Yeah. Well, you remember when you were in school and you had to answer questions on a book that you clearly hadn't read? Yeah. Of Mice and Men is a story about mice and men.
Yeah, or it's...
one is a man, the other is a mouse. That sort of thing.
Yeah, and you kind of embellish it, and you're like, it's about how the mouse represents the man, but the man also represents the mouse, and you basically filibuster.
Yeah,
filibuster your way through it.
Exactly. Trump had that kind of reaction. Now, let me see. This is Trump's response.
More like an allergic reaction.
Okay, can I want to see, can I do my Donald Trump here?
Okay, all right.
Well, first of all, I think we need somebody absolutely that we can trust, who is totally responsible, who really knows what he or she is doing. That is so powerful and so important.
I had no idea that Donald Trump was a Jew from Long Island. He sounds like a rabbi.
It's the only East Coast of America accent I can do. All right.
He just really worked.
Yeah,
really worked on the rabbi.
I was watching
the Philadelphia style rabbi.
I was watching a lot of Mel Brooks movies over the Christmas. All right, leave me alone.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. There's no answer there.
Yeah,
there's no material there.
Yeah, there's like a few random associations with that particular thing, but there's no actual thing to that.
There's no answer there.
Yeah, he goes on. Will I keep doing the voice?
It's up to you, Sean. It's a brave accent, but go for it.
Okay, and one of the things that I am frankly most proud of is that in 2003, 2004, I was totally against going into Iraq. Why I oughta. Because you're going to destabilize the Middle East. I called it very strongly, and it was very important.
No relevance. It has nothing to do with anything.
That has nothing to do with the nuclear triad whatsoever.
I mean, that's like if I went up to you and I said, "Hey, Sean, do you know what time the bus to Donegal is?" And you went, Do you know in 2006 I predicted that there'd be a sharp increase in craft beers?
I really wish I'd have put some money in that. I could have made a fortune.
Still, anyway.
It's like, no. Tell me when.
Fascinating. What's the what's the bus times? Hey, did you know that I knew Chelsea were going to fail this year? I just knew it. I said it to my friends 10 minutes before the start of the first match of the season. I said Jose's going to fall apart. Obviously. It makes no sense. He's not connecting that to anything. It's not even proof of any kind.
And but there's more. There is more. But we have to be extremely vigilant and extremely careful when it comes to nuclear, my sugar. Nuclear changes the whole freaking ball game. Frankly, I would have said, get out of Syria, get out! If we hadn't had the power of weaponry today. The power is so massive that we can't just leave areas that 50 years ago or 75 years ago we wouldn't care. It was hand-to-hand combat.
Now, that's first off, great acting.
I know.
Great voice work there. Fantastic stuff.
I am available for bar mitzvahs.
Your time in Second City's really paid off. Like, it's really worked for you, you know. I think that might be the most offensive accent we've done so far.
It quite possibly.
But anyway,
I genuinely did try to do Donald Trump.
Excellent. And it sounds exactly like Trump. Don't get me wrong.
And it turned into Jackie Mason somewhere along the way. I don't know what happened, but
But within that, I mean, within that answer, there's a lot of stuff to unpack.
There really
I mean, that's like, I mean,
it's like, okay, what does Syria have to do with anything? I mean, First of all,
why did you do that? Why it doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, why involve Syria? It's like any debate, any conversation you're having, you do your best to avoid Syria.
Yes.
Unless the conversation is about you going to Syria.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about Syria.
You don't bring up.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. If you're running for president, you don't bring up Syria until someone says it first.
Yeah. Until someone asks you a direct question about, like, you know, he brings it up out of nowhere.
And my favorite part of that is the power of weaponry today, right? The power of weaponry. I'm fairly certain that, like, you know, Genghis Khan had the power of weaponry.
Yeah,
and Julius Caesar had the power of weaponry.
It's kind of like it sounds a lot like a Frankie Valli song or something like that. Like,
why must I be a teenager with the power of weaponry?
I mean, it's not. I guess you could call it a sentence.
Yeah, you could.
I guess, I mean, like, in form.
Like, grammatically, it's a sentence.
Yeah, but, I mean, it doesn't make any... I mean, it's not a real thing.
I know.
But he goes on to say, we've 50 years ago today, it was hand-to-hand combat. 50 years ago, we were fairly involved in Vietnam.
Yeah,
I mean, there wasn't a lot of...
And 75 years ago... Well, hang on. Wasn't it 70 years ago when they dropped the... They actually dropped a nuke?
That was the end of the war, yeah. They dropped 2 nuclear weapons.
Yes. It was a bad day for fat men and little boys.
Maybe... There you go. That's another deep cut there for any military history fans.
Oh, come on. You don't know the... Yeah, everyone knows that one, right?
But I mean, maybe that's why, you know, maybe that's why the Japanese lost, because, you know, the Americans were using ships and bombs and stuff, and they were just back to that old school hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
But apparently it was extremely prevalent at the time.
That's where the Japanese went. You know, when America invented the gun in 1942, that was the turning point.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
jinx. Oh, but Trump goes on.
Well, he's not finished.
Oh, he's not.
He should have finished.
He should have finished, like.
And he said any one of those words.
Yeah.
At any point, we're in a better time to finish.
He should have just trailed off. You know, we got the power of weaponry.
I don't know, maybe more.
My sugar. He went on. Oh God, I'm gonna have to keep doing it.
It's a good accent. I'm gonna have to keep doing it. You've got him down.
The biggest problem the world has today is not President Obama with global warming. Apparently, he brought it with him. Where'd he keep it? In his pockets? I don't know.
Barack Obama and global warming. To which everyone replied, No. That's definitely not the biggest problem at the moment.
Which is inconceivable. This is what he's saying. The biggest problem we have is nuclear proliferation, and having some maniac, some goddamn madman go out and get a nuclear weapon. That's in my opinion. That's the single biggest problem our country faces right now. And at this point, the absolute hero of a fucking of a debate master replies, of the 3 legs of the triad, though, do you have a priority? I want to go to Senator Rubio after that and ask him. I mean, I think for me, nuclear is just the power. The devastation is very important to me. Okay, that sounds very Hitlerish, shall we say?
Sounds very.
That sounds like, you know, what a 14-year-old would write at his first attempt at writing a metal song.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of like maybe what.
Destruction,
and power weaponry. Yeah, it doesn't
very important to me.
Yeah, it's not.
I think we've written a hair metal song.
I think we've done better than Donald Trump did. Like,
you could actually take
that. A power ballad with a more interesting response.
You could take that response and turn it into a fucking metal song.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think maybe that's what we should do with
I
future
think
shows?
We fucking should. Yeah,
metal Trump.
You know, metalify the news. But this is it's
fair play to the ringmaster there.
Yeah,
to the,
guy named Hugh Hewitt. Fair play to him.
The famous debate master. Or whatever. And his ability to kind of like listen to that amount of Trump and the yelling and the noise and kind of go, Okay, well, I was only asking you because you're kind of between this guy and this other guy. I need to move on to, Jeff Bush or whatever like that, who have like real responses.
These people who know what...
These people who have,
who have a clue of what the fuck they're doing.
High school education, these guys here, they kind of ones I want to talk to, right?
There's a lot of people in that debate I disagree with, but every single one of them is smarter than Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think they were standing behind was smarter than Donald Trump. No, he was your politician of the year. My politician of the year.
However, I think an honourable mention has to go.
Policymaker salute.
A policymaker salute has to go to. It was a political story that happened here in Ireland about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it just raised the nation's spirits. When Joan Burton was travelling out to Tipperary to inspect the flood, the damage at the flood site.
Yeah.
She got into a boat, just for the standard politician photo op. She got into a boat,
photo op, whatever,
and the boat almost immediately tipped her out and threw her into the floodwater.
Yeah, that's right.
I think both the floodwater and the boat get an honourable mention.
I think they definitely get a salute there.
First off, the boat, unfortunately, about 2 or 3 hours after, got a vicious beating from the Gardaí for daring to slow down Joan Burton. And the floodwater deserves super mega kudos for doing what no man was willing to do and get Joan Burton wet.
I mean, I saw that. I saw the pictures and the rest of it, and like.
I had it on a loop.
Yeah,
I may have cracked one off.
Well, I'm in the middle of building a large tile mosaic of the event. Like, but
I've got like a little flip book thing.
Oh, are you doing a little?
Yeah,
those little jobbers. Yeah, it was just kind of truly it did lift the spirits of the nation because everyone in the country kind of went, oh yeah, that's right, we live in Ireland. Yeah. It just doesn't give a shit.
Like gay marriage and Tánaiste just falling into a flood. That was what made us happy in Ireland.
Our spirits. I mean, it's been a long, tough few years since the recession. It's been what I suppose 1922. We had the War of Independence. Pretty much a constant recession since then.
Yeah.
And it's really lifted the spirits. It really made us feel good about being Irish.
We did have Celtic Tiger for a little while, but that didn't last too long, and then it went back to misery. Yeah. And then, but if there's one thing that the Irish truly enjoy, it's spite for hateful old cunts. And that at least the generation we're part of now, we rather than take down the man, we'll just sort of look at them and go, all right.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Trump for president. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. We can do next charges for the water. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No, it was a wonderful day. I'd give her an honourable mention.
Yeah.
We'll leave it up to the people online from. Policymakers
Facebook group. We're going to set up a little bit of a poll. Who do you think?
We're on Twitter as well as at Policymakers. Makers Policy. Come check us out.
If you have the three candidates will be Donald Trump, the boat that tossed her into the floodwater, and the floodwater that did what no man was willing to do.
Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty good poll.
Yeah. And if you have any other write-in candidates you'd like to add, we would be more than happy to hear.
We're happy to hear them. Yeah, it's very quiet here in Policymakers.
We're kind of lonely.
Very lonely. A lot of the staff left us.
Yeah, and I spend my time impersonating Jackie Mason, pretending I'm Donald Trump.
And I have to sit here and listen to it. It's been a hard couple of months.
It's been pretty grim. Yeah,
we shouldn't have fired everyone.
We really shouldn't.
On the other hand, though, David Cameron, he stuck his woohoo in an interesting thing.
Yeah!
Did you see that? Who would have thunk it? I mean, that pig has to be one of our nominations. He gets a Policymakers End of Year salute there.
He's fucking earned it.
He's earned it, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you this, man.
Why don't you set up the story for us? Why don't you tell us what
now this is
series of events that led to what we're talking about?
Now this is an extremely alleged event, right? Yeah. There's a very, very unauthorized biography of David Cameron that came out a couple of months ago, and it's like one paragraph of one page of this book. It doesn't go into detail about it.
No.
Apparently, there's one source that was preferred to remain anonymous, so it's an extremely spurious fucking story.
Very spurious.
But I want it to be true so fucking
What a
badly.
story.
What a story.
What a great story.
What a story. Because I just thought, well, first off, my father is a pig farmer.
Yes.
And I just thought, maybe there's a sideline business to be had here. You know, maybe you can get like Tory toffs out, you know, get a minibus full of them and just like get, you know, a few of the sick dying pigs or something like that and just like, you know.
Not the good pigs.
Not the good pigs.
Not the good pigs. You save those for the shinners, but not the good pigs.
Not the good pigs.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can, and just, you know, and they throw us like 500 quid each and we just leave them in there for about an hour. Do what you like where, you know, there's no cameras. You know,
we're out in the country.
Absolutely,
All hidden. It's all very nice.
You know, and you know, we even ordered like a bunch of like blue vinyl dresses for pigs.
Oh, the little.
You
is that why?
Yeah,
you have hundreds of those around the house.
Yeah, Dad didn't want me to put them on them anymore, so
and
you know,
they're on every doily.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. And I got some new bracelets.
Oh, they're very cute. Very
I know,
cute.
right?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
the only problem with them is they're a bit tough. Can you shake them off? Shake them off. Policymakers back on form.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You know, I you know, being from a pig farming background, I had a lot of different thoughts about this. I was just thinking, you know, little known fact, they use infrared light bulbs in pig incubators. So I thought maybe he just thought it was a red light district.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he thought it was like, you know. Yeah. Oh, this must be the boudoir.
Yeah.
That would explain the smell.
Yeah, and honestly, you expect Tory frontbenchers to have brains rotting from syphilis. Foot and mouth is a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
a new interesting disease for them.
Absolutely.
But want to be careful though; it'll spread fast for the cabinet.
Absolutely. Yeah, fucking well.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of no. Spurious comment. Spurious comment.
Allegedly spread fast for the cabinet.
But I will tell you this, man. I will tell you this. It is Mrs. Cameron I feel bad for.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Think about this, right? Imagine you're Mrs. Cameron, right? Okay. Which is worse, right? Which is worse? Coming home early from the shopping one Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
To find your husband with his pants round his ankles watching Babe. Or the realization years later that he didn't change the channel out of panic.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. I mean, what does Dave Cameron's wife do now?
Probably sleep in a different room to David Cameron.
Thinking, like, yeah.
Because, like, you know,
I mean,
she might even still love him, but god damn it, if you fuck a pig.
I mean, to be fair, as we said, it's very alleged.
Yeah, very alleged.
More like, you know, there doesn't seem to be proof or anything like that. Or whatever is alleged, etc., etc.
But he totally did it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Totally did it.
If he did it or not, it doesn't matter what he tells his wife. She is never going to believe him.
Yeah.
If that comes on in the morning, they're sitting in bed, it comes on the radio, Radio 1. Yeah, but Cameron's have to get with the pig. And he just instantly turns off and says, that definitely didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's, no matter what he says, it's going to be the worst thing ever.
The balance of power in the Camerons' relationship has fucking shifted.
Have you noticed how England, since Piggate, has imported 52,000 more pairs of shoes? They've increased their Chardonnay imports by 44%.
And, you know, handbags,
handbags, what do you call those little sweets, little candies you can hide around the house, celebrations.
Oh, BJ Blast, was it?
BJ Blast!
Actually, little known fact, that guy who got arrested in the Walmart was an MI6 agent.
No kidding.
Black Ops, man. Black
Ops, yeah. Deep cover, huh? Really deep cover.
Really deep cover.
Well, Sean, in once again, because we are usually most people's number one news source.
Of course.
And we like to cut right to the nub of the situation.
And more journalistic integrity than Fox News.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
With that in mind, we have actually managed to rouse an actual interview with the sister of the famed pig.
Really?
Yeah, Mrs. Justine Swannington Hoffington.
Okay.
And she's on the line right now.
Okay.
So, I'll just conduct an interview.
Via Skype.
Now, you can speak pig because you grew up on a pig farm or your family.
That's racist.
Sorry, I mean Piglish.
Yes.
You can speak Piglish because you obviously
of course
spent some time with the animals. And I can speak it because of my second wife. So, we'll just get straight into the interview. Welcome, Mrs. Swannington Hufflebrook. Please, get comfy, relax. Very good. Justine, and may I say how lovely you look today? Oh, thank you very much. It's brand new. Perhaps another time. Now, please, can you get back to telling us more about your sister? Yes. Interesting. Yes. She sounds like a gentle soul. Now, I know you're very busy and you have to get a flight back to London very, very soon. Now, was that right? Really, Jonathan Ross? No kidding. I look forward to watching it. Now, tell me a little bit more about what happened on that fateful day. That's your home in Berkshire. Yes. And was it a car or a limo? An open-top bus. How fascinating. It sounds like a homecoming. A celebration, yes, very good. And how many people were there? Less than 20? Less than 20. And your sister? And very good. And what was he wearing at the time? A dicky bow. Interesting. And you would say it was a full tuxedo or just a dicky bow? Fascinating. And who was it that picked you out of the lineup? You mean, yes, we do know him, friend of the show, Patrick McLaughlin, Secretary for Transport. A friend of the show, right, Sean?
Friend of the show,
yes. And you never saw her alive after that day. Fascinating. I'm sorry. It's okay, take your time. Interesting. It's a sensational story, but I've been trying this new thing. It's fresh off the line for journalists. It's called research. Yes, not many people have heard of it. Yes. Well, I'll show you what I mean. I'll ask you some questions. May I ask you again how many people you said were there? Yes, you mentioned about 20. And in fact, we have a quotation here from the official count of Oxford University saying that there was at least 9,000 people there. Well, that's what Oxford said. Well, perhaps, but Oxford is a very reputable source. Yes, well, that may be, but we're not here to talk about Sean's hygiene standards.
Hey.
She's angry. She knows we're getting to the nub of the story. Tell me, Justine.
That's an unprovoked...
That's close to slander, madam.
And it's frankly unnecessary.
Extremely unnecessary. Now, please, continue. Tell me, what was it that David Cameron was wearing? Exactly, what was he wearing? Like, no, you're wrong. You're very wrong. You're totally wrong. Over 200 eyewitnesses' account have said, and I quote, he was wearing nothing but cowboy boots and a smile. No need for name calling, Justine. No need for name calling. No need to get so affronted. Now finally, and probably the most damning piece of evidence against your story, here is a photo of Leicester FC's Premier striker Nicky Cross scoring the third goal against your beloved Charlton Athletic in the October 15th match, 3-0 hammering in the 1989-1989 season. That's right. Not relevant. Oh really? Could you just look closely at the photograph? Look past the beautiful Nicky Cross as he celebrates to the crowd. That's right. There in the front row. Who is it? No, you're wrong. In fact, in the front row, you could spot quite clearly wearing a Charlton Addict for Life shirt, giving the legendary Nick Cross the V symbol. Who is it? It's you, isn't it? No, it's not Mrs. Justine Swivington Hofflebrook, is it? No, it's you. Because she was buggered to death by the Right Honourable Patrick McLaughlin MP in 1988 in front of 9,000 people wearing cowboy boots. That's right. That's right, we know it's you. It's you. You, Les Bullington. Former darts player and full-time con man. What's that? You have nothing to say, Les? No reply? No reply? Well, I think your silence is more than I ever could. I mean, you've fooled us for long enough, and there's no need to leave, Mr. Fine, leave. Get out, Les. Les, you've been proven wrong. Sorry. Well, that's it. He seems like he's hung up.
It's a very. How did you get that interview?
Oh, it took a lot of effort. It was a lot of effort.
I can imagine. So.
But I mean, we have to get to the nub of the matter. We have to get to the truth of these things.
When you do the level of research that we do here at Policymakers,
I mean, the research is what makes this show, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a beautiful photograph, though. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Look at Nicky Clegg. It looks brilliant.
Oh,
Nicky Cross there looks.
It's a great day.
Great day. 3-0 hammering.
Oh,
Munchausen.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what much more we could say about Piggate now.
That was Piggate, and that was 2015.
That was about 2015. I mean, sure, a lot more happened.
Yeah,
I mean, loads of crazy stuff, but we'll not get into that.
Yeah,
we've only got so much time to waste.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and we've only got so much of your time to waste.
Yeah, we all know how valuable your time is, ladies and gentlemen.
If you're listening to Policymakers, you're a mover and a shaker.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
With that accent, I'm sure Trump is tuning in every week now.
Yeah, and I believe Jackie Mason's about to sue me for copyright infringement.
Yeah, and even just simply the mention of Taylor Swift, we can just tag Taylor Swift, and then Vladimir Putin's going to be all over.
And I'm fairly certain that the Jewish Defence Force are going to kneecap me. I'm not 100% sure, but
once again, Sean, I feel like 2016 is going to be very much like 2015, where you dance the line between being killed by ISIS and being killed by the Jewish Defence Force.
I do love ham.
You do love ham. That was our year in review, 2015.
Yeah.
It was a fun year.
It was a fun year.
It was good crack.
And shall we say it? It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
I've been Sean Sheridan.
And I've been Senan Waldron.
And we've been Policymakers.
Go all in.
You have been listening to Policymakers, a podcast written and produced by me, Senan Waldron, and Sean Sheridan. It was a Robot House production.
Something that won't get much review. I'll start again.
Yeah.
I'll do that click again.
Take
right?
two.
Take two. All right. Bang. On to it again.
Okay, take three.
All right, here we go. This is the one.
1, 2, 3.